An important part of your site is the entranceway where trucks and vehicles arrive and leave. Sites get muddy and we don't want mud and contaminants tracked all over the road. This annoys the neighbours and causes a lot of complaints to council, which then leads to council fines and expensive cleanups. Most importantly though, it pollutes the environment, which is what we want to prevent.
So looking after your entranceway is a win-win for you, your subbies and for the environment. Here's how you do it.
First, get a digger to scrape off the soil and grass to a depth of roughly 150 millimetres. This is for the aggregate. Depending on the configuration of the site, make the entranceway up to 4 metres wide and take it back as close as you can to your building platform. Luckily, on this site there's an existing vehicle crossing which has wings. If your site doesn't have a crossing like this, make the start of the entranceway wider. Give it wings so people don't cut corners and carry mud and dirt out onto the road. Lots of builders just lay aggregate on the entranceway, but there's a better way of doing it. If I push this rock into the earth, it just sinks in. That's why we recommend you use a geotextile cloth underneath the aggregate. So start by laying the geotextile base. This holds down the soil and stops the aggregate sinking into the mud, which means you might even be able to reuse the aggregate. Then lay your aggregate. This creates a rough surface for tyres and stops mud and earth being tracked onto the road. Don't use material like sand, crushed concrete or asphalt to build your entranceway. They won't work well. So use aggregate, and not just any aggregate, large washed aggregate. If you have too much fine material, it'll get tracked out onto the road. Once this is done, you're set. If any mud does get on the road, don't wash it down to the stormwater drain. Sweep it back onto the site, not onto the road. Or if there is a large quantity, a sweeper truck should be arranged to clean the road. So remember, it's your responsibility to keep the road and drains free from mud and sediment. So take a bit of time to get your entranceway right and you'll be sweet.